What is a good YouTube? Butter Boys, indubitably here. And I got a crazy story for y'all. This happened at like my work, at the market that I work at. And it was crazy. So what happened was like at my market, this happened in the morning. I wasn't there until I came in like the middle of the day. But in the morning, this guy, let's name him Steve, all right? Steve, he was on some sugar, some nose candy per se. We could say that. Because so like at my market we have a laundromat and our like store, but in between those there's like this little like patch of like trees that we have. and so like in the morning, I guess Steve, he comes by in the morning and he like tried to like he went inside, like bought a few things, came out, tried to get some gas, and then like he turned toward the tree area. So he went to the tree area and supposedly he was there arguing, like he took off his shirt, started talking to the trees, whatever. And like started getting into like this big argument with them, started yelling at the trees, and like even climbed a few of them. Then he left and didn't get gas. He didn't take his gas. So I come into work around like noon or so, and I get there and I have to do my outside stuff. So I'm like, what's it called? I'm like doing the garbages or whatever. And then here comes Steve again, pulls in, and he's all like, did the cops come by? And I'm like, what? He's like, did the cops come by to get those kids? I'm like, no cops came by. And I'm like, what kids are you talking about? He's like, well, come here and I'll show you. And so he walks off. I'm like, what the heck? So I went back inside because I heard that Steve came by this morning, started doing all this, and supposedly he's saying there is people in the trees. There is people in the trees kidnapping kids. And this morning when he came by, there was like a few kids that appeared and started yelling for help because these people kept like kidnapped them and like tried to like sell them off or something. And Steve is like, yeah, there's people in the trees that have bows and arrows. And he started like getting into like arguments and like threat, and like they started throwing threats at them. And like there's nothing Steve could have done, so he like told the kids that he'll be right back with help. So he left. That's what happened that morning. And so then he came back. So then my friend, she was in the laundromat, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm kind of worried about her. So I went out there and I'm looking at what Steve is doing, and he's over there arguing with the tree. He's like pointing at it and like started pushing on it. I'm like, okay, that's weird. So I went into the laundromat and I told my friend like, hey, Steve is like on something. So like, be careful. He comes in, whatever he says isn't true. He's saying that there's people in the trees, whatever. So then I come outside. My coworkers, they come out, started talking to him. And I guess that he got into this big argument with this person that started saying that he will shoot him with his arrow if he keeps trying to take their kids, and they keep saying that there's nothing he can do because he can't reach them in the trees. So that's why like he climbed the trees this morning. And he's all like trying to square up with them, took his shirt off again, trying to like square up with the trees, like, and he's like saying how there is so many kids in the trees and it's so sad because they keep yelling for help and nobody's coming, and they're like, and only a few of them came out, and they said there's a lot more, but they're scared because they didn't want to get punished by these like tree people. And so we're like, okay, well, nobody knew what to do besides like one of our coworkers. She started like helping him. And like saying, okay, well, we'll try and figure something out. You need to go home. And it was just crazy. So this guy literally came by the market, saying that there is people in the trees with bow and arrows, and he like got this and like and apparently one of the conversations he had with the tree people was like, this guy said that he's gonna shoot him if he takes another step closer, and he's all like, oh yeah, well you can't hit shit because there's too much brush, so you can't hit me. And he started calling him a pussy and like trying to square up with him. Oh my god, it was a tree, by the way. He was squaring up with the tree, saying this to the tree, and I've seen him like poking at it. So he left. He went home. After that became like a normal, interesting day. So far that's all I have. Sorry for like the really short video. I'll try and do another one tomorrow. Have a good one, y'all.